Cool. Going live. We're live. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining the stream. My name is Bryce Jelinas. I am the co-founder of Marco Polo here with Tyler Klein. He's the other co-founder. Tyler and I have known each other since before high school. We've been in game dev together, honestly, not long after that. I've done a lot of programming, and Tyler's done a lot of music and things like that. And we kind of work together with a lot of other indie devs to uh, help get their games published and get everything across the finish line. We have here with us. We're very honored to have Toby here. If he wants to introduce himself, he's an awesome guy. I'll pass it over to him.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. Yeah, just so good to be here. Hi everybody, and hi to you too. And yeah, thank you for the invitation. Thank you for the like possibility to do a little collaboration here. I think it's a really cool idea. And yeah, as I said, I'm Toby, and I'm an indie developer from Germany, and I'm developing in yeah, let's call it Wild Western survival game called Above Snakes. And yeah, today we will look a little into a bit of both games, and we'll be streaming a little gameplay of both. And yeah, then we will see, yeah, about what we will talk. Maybe some dev talk, maybe about some design decisions or features, and yeah, maybe we get also some questions from the chat. That would be awesome if
Yeah,
like the people that joined could yeah drop us some messages that they're there.
yeah,
Oh yeah, there are
absolutely.
some hellos.
Yeah, and Tyler's actually worked with Toby a bit. I think you helped out on their trailer, which is awesome, by the way. Their trailer is super cool. And I don't know, you probably, I didn't give you a chance to introduce yourself, Tyler. So if you want to talk about that and your relation to Above Snakes and to Inanis and all of that.
Oh, Tyler, I
Oh,
think you're
Tyler,
muted.
you're muted. Yeah,
Bryce
there we go.
explained our history together in Marco Polo and making games together for a while. And then I met Toby with Above Snakes and did some music for their trailer. And so we've just been friends and have caught up with each other's projects since. So yeah, that's me.
Yeah, awesome. Cool. So the way this is gonna work is we're gonna have Toby stream Above Snakes, and he's just gonna kind of give us a brief demo on how that's going and whatever he wants to show off to us, honestly. And Tyler and I really haven't seen much of this yet, so we're just kind of have our thoughts and just have a friendly conversation really about it, and then we're gonna switch sides and we're gonna all demo Anani's, the game Tyler and I are working on with Gabriel, who's the main programmer there. He couldn't be here today, but I'll run the demo we're working on for our Kickstarter, and we'll be able to talk about that and get Toby's input and things like that. So
Yeah,
that being said, we'll turn it over to Toby for Above Snakes.
yeah, very cool. Thank you. Let me just hit the right button here. I think it's this one.
Yes, cool. Yep. Oh,
Yeah, is it working? Is it online already? Maybe you have
yep.
to
Uh,
put a little bigger. Okay, yeah, it's fine. And yeah, so we will be streaming, by the way, about an hour. So maybe now like 20 to 25 minutes Above Snakes, and then we will switch over to Inanis. And yeah, I think let's just dive right into the game. There are a couple of people that already are following the game, and there was already a demo out there that was playable for a week during the Steam Summer Festival. And since then, yeah, I would say a lot of things changed and improved. I hope in a good way. And so, yeah, let's just dive right into the game. By the way, if you have like any questions also in the chat, just like drop a message. And I think Tyler will watch this chat a little bit, and I also try
yeah.
to.
I also have the chat up when I'm doing Anani's, though I might not see it. So yeah.
Yeah. So in Above Snakes, basically, you are dropped into this wild western world with your character Ayana, she's called. And there's a little bit of backstory that I won't go into detail because that's like part of the exploration of the game. You're basically exploring the world like tile by tile. Like unusual, like what's a little bit unusual for this survival game is usually a world is generated for you and you're just put into this sandbox. And in this world, you actually have to develop this sandbox on your own while you're playing this game and while surviving in the wilds. And yeah, so at the very beginning, you only have like this very small tile here with very limited resource. Like here's only like some wood and some stone. And if you want to get more and see more, you need to explore it. And you can see when I enter here these ads, it says explore the world, but I don't have the resources yet. So
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, what you do in Above Snakes, you basically begin with like hitting trees, and when you hit trees, they sometimes drop you stuff. And in this case, they dropped us some twigs here. And with these 3 twigs, we are able to craft us this little axe here. So what we're going to do is, with this axe, we can chop these down.
Oh, awesome.
And then we would have access to some logs.
Yeah, I can see how this like tile system might lend to a really deep crafting system. I think that's pretty cool. So I imagine you can find like different resources on different tiles, and the tiles are different.
Yes, that's exactly the idea. Like in the beginning, you only have, as you can see, access like to very limited resources here. Like these are the base resource that you will always need in the game, like stones and wood logs and twigs and stuff. And oh yeah, and also these berries here, these bushes, they would drop you some berries. And yeah, but if you want to craft like more stuff and more advanced stuff, you will need to explore like different regions, and that's what we're gonna do here.
Now, I see when you're hitting these things that the number is coming up, and I want to assume it's damage, but is that another metric, or is it damage that you're doing to the
Yeah.
object?
Yeah, it's damage. Like if I hit this rock with a pickaxe, you see I'll do like 13, 15 damage. If I hit it with an axe, I only do like 1 damage or 2 damage.
You could still do it. That's why you put that there.
Yeah, I can also hit it like with my bare hands, but
0 damage. Nice.
yeah.
I am curious, as you're doing this, is that like looks like a rain or water drop indicator on the left, and those other guys there, and looks like a brain, or are those resources or something?
Yeah, these are the needs, like the player needs.
Ah,
Like the most, like the first one is hunger, second one is thirst, then you have sanity, and then you have fatigue.
oh cool.
And yeah, if one of these needs drop, then you have like very limited time left, and then you will be like dying, and you have to restart the game. And
Are you going to show us how you lose sanity? Because that intrigues me.
That I also want to ask. I was curious, like, what the debuffs are or anything like that as you lose sanity.
yeah, like the best way to lose sanity would be like to explore graveyards and then search graves for bones and for other stuff. And while doing that, you will lose sanity. Or if you find like a dead body somewhere and you would search that body, then also you would lose sanity. And
Makes sense.
yeah, but before I hit the button to explore a new tile, let me show you the map. Like this is the
wow.
generated map here, and it's pre-generated in a way of that it shows like something like climate zones. That it will show like in which region, like in the bottom right here, for instance, it will get snowy, and in the left it gets like greener and some orange even here. So this is like more a forest region. In between there's some mountains. So I know what to. Yeah.
Is there a planned like endless mode where you can just try to get every tile unlocked, or how is that set up?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that. Like right now, it's like this normal story mode, I would say, because as you saw here, here's this point of interest, and they will appear from time to time. And the idea is basically you're playing the game, discovering all of these points, and these are basically quests and NPCs and stories that you want to unravel, and then you will unravel like part of the story of the game. And because if you die, you lose your tiles and everything. You have to start over. There's very little that you can take over into the next run. And one of the things that you will take over is the story. So you don't have to do the same story quest all and over again.
Yeah, I love that.
So, okay, let's see. Here's a zombie. Like we are in the Wild Western zombie apocalypse, by the way. So let's see if we can take him down.
Post-apocalyptic Western zombies. This is brilliant.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's cool. You're damaging all the weed around you too. It's
yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, so we were able to take him down. We can also, by the way, we can damage like these these fences here, for instance.
Cool.
We can basically damage everything. We can of course damage here the barrel.
Looting. Look
Yeah,
for
so let's do
potions
some.
and gold.
Do the barrels
There is a potion.
Yes, it's a potion.
good intuition? Do the barrels ever explode?
No, not yet.
That's good.
But yeah, I was planning on like having these things. Let me just drink something, otherwise we will die from thirst. And we can, by the way, refill our bottle also here in the well. But yeah, the other thing I definitely want to show is the other thing that you won't lose during the run, like if we would die, is like the tools, like the bottle and the axe and the pickaxe. So everything that's blue colored, basically, you won't lose. But the resources we will lose. And the other thing we won't lose is our handy little workbench here. And I will set this up on our first tile. And what we can do with this one is we can invest our resources into building like little cabin homes. Let me just buy some from the resources we have.
I really enjoyed how the game is set on these tiles, so it makes you think everything's locked in place. But when you put the workbench down, it was super free flowing wherever you wanted it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's build.
I'm really loving this crafting system.
I will just set up like a little home here.
I also really like the graphic design. Is it
Yeah,
is it called like cell shading, kind of like that?
It's not cell shading. No. It still has like shadows and proper. How's it called?
Right.
I don't know, but it's basically low poly graphics, like with some proper lighting, I would say. So yeah.
That's so cool.
So yeah, we have just built ourselves like a little cabin, and this one also will stay. Like if we would die, we will still have this cabin, and we can furnish it like with stuff that we can use later. For instance, we can also have a little garden. So next to our home, I put the garden, and I think we already got some wheat here, for instance. Oh, and the huckleberries. Oh yeah, I have to dislodge the seeds here first, and dislodge them. Didn't we find pumpkin? No, not yet, right?
Not yet. I just to ask a question. You mentioned that the cabin and the infrastructure will stay. So that sounds like a really cool, memorable moment for people storytelling wise when they go back to their runs and then they find some cabin they built 20 runs ago and don't remember at all. It's almost like eerie, you know. Sounds like a pretty cool storytelling point.
Yeah. Like right now, it's always like the first tile that you enter is basically the tile you can build your cabin on. But of course you can have like bigger builds, and maybe I'm thinking about maybe having bigger like being able to expand like your building space to other tiles, but I'm not sure about that yet. So yeah, we will see. And I will just explore the world here a little bit. Yeah, as we can see here, it gets a lot colder. And the thing is that the further I go away from my starting tile, the harder the enemies would get. So this is like a very fast zombie here, so we need to be careful to be able to beat him here.
Yeah, not to distract you while you're fighting, but I assume the tiles every time you start your game are random, right? Like there's a randomness. But I imagine there's got to be some non-randomness, like you talked about. Your starting tile has everything you need to make it, to the next tiles and things like that.
Yeah, of course that. And as you can see, like ignore the icons here, but the different tiles, like not every pine forest is like every other pine forest. Like they have also stats, and so some pine forests have like more berries, others have like more trees and rocks to build stuff, others have stuff to loot, and also these have stats, and I can choose from always 3, and these 3 are picked randomly depending on what region on the map we are. like if you're in a colder region, then it will pick from 3 cold tiles that you will get offered.
Oh, cool.
If we're in a warm region,
Cool.
then you get like 3 deserts, or like maybe a desert, maybe a canyon, maybe a farm or something. And yeah, that's the way how you like explore the world here. Oh, damn.
What is he wearing?
Oh yeah, these zombies are still like placeholders. This is not like not proper
Okay.
Wild Western stuff. Yeah, some lavender, that's also cool.
So is there any sort of like cooking mechanic in it? Like, do you need to cook food or
Oh,
anything
yeah.
like that?
Definitely. We can set up maybe on the first tile, or maybe here. We can set up like a bonfire. By the way, if anybody's wondering, like I have like some cheat activated that we can just craft stuff and then try it out.
Yeah.
We can craft everything right now. Oh yeah, I need logs to light it.
So when you're
Yeah,
rolling,
now we have a little.
oh sorry, when you're rolling in
Yeah.
things in combat, do you get immunity frames? I kind of noticed that. It made me think of Dark Souls a little bit.
No, it's just switching your position.
Okay.
So you can just like dodge the attacks via position change.
Yeah, makes sense.
Let's see. I think
Oh, Christmas
Yep.
cookies.
yeah, this is still a placeholder. Obviously, like a lot of these icons are placeholders, as you can see.
Totally.
Yeah, but basically we would be able, like for instance, like to make flour from our wheat, we would be able to to create different kind of recipes here. That the idea is that you combine stuff that you can find on different tiles, like for instance like the berries from the pine forest with like the flour that you made from the wheat, and to combine it like to a bread or to like a huckleberry tart or to something else. And that would be like way better to do it that way than just to like to always just to eat berries and to get full with berries.
Yeah. Man, that's
And
that's cool.
yeah, that's the basic idea.
Am I crazy, or are the tiles you're not on fading? You're getting a little fuzzy out there. Looks like it. Out of
It's
focus.
the-
That's the
it's-
word.
Oh yeah, it's a depth of field.
Yeah.
Like this is a little bit controversial because some people love that effect, others don't like it, and that's one of the reasons why you can actually turn it off here.
Oh, cool.
Then everything is in focus. If you, yeah, some people get a little dizzy from it or get even headaches, and that's I personally I really like it, and I think it's a cool effect. And oh yeah, by the way, our crops grew a little bit here.
Hey.
Hey, cool.
These ones, and oh yeah, the huckleberries. I think they need 2 or 3 days to fully grow. So I'm not sure if we will see this here live on stream. But yeah, the basic idea is like if I would die right now from a zombie, which I hopefully won't, then in the next run I will have the crops in my garden that I already have like pre-farmed in my previous run. That would enhance my chances.
Awesome.
That's super cool.
Are there like
Nothing in here.
NPCs and things you can interact with, or that you can
Yeah,
farm and
yeah.
stuff?
Let me try to get to the question mark thing.
Yeah, cool. Because you mentioned like
Then-
quests and things and stuff.
Yeah, then we will definitely see some NPCs. Maybe I can just outrun him.
Are you, for this narrative itself, are you planning for be kind of a vaguer, like bits and pieces dropped as you go through the story? Are you gonna have a really rich, concrete story with characters and plot
Yeah.
points?
Yeah, definitely. Like the first idea was like to build up this sandbox here that you can have fun in the sandbox. And now my task is like to create these little quest lines, and I will then sprinkle these quest lines from time to time into the creation of the tiles here. Like for instance, like here, when I hit like the tile creation button here, I will only have this option, and this is basically the quest that I get offered here.
Cool.
So this little cabin here, somebody that lives out here in these woods. And yeah, spoiler alert: this quest isn't working. He doesn't have to say anything interesting. But the main idea would be that these guys here, they would have quests that give you like permanent upgrades.
Oh,
So
awesome.
if it's for instance like a lumberjack, the lumberjack would offer you maybe a better axe or an axe upgrade that you would be able to faster chop your trees.
Cool.
And also, yeah, I get a bed here which I can use to rest a little bit. Oh, and yeah, I need to eat something, by the way.
That kind of reminds me of like Fallout 3 on hardcore mode. I do that all the time where I go to sleep on hardcore mode and be like, I'll sleep for 20 hours.
Never
and then-
wake up.
Yeah, exactly. Wake up and be like, you're dying. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Do you want to have voice acting in the game?
I'm not sure yet. Maybe not. It depends a little bit on the scope, and also I'm also planning to run a Kickstarter campaign, and that could be one of these stretch goals, basically. Oh, I think I broke the. Oh,
Oh no.
okay.
You died.
Yeah, I died. And yeah, that could be one of the stretch goals. Like, if the game would do really well on Kickstarter, then I could imagine that I would get voice actors for everything. And oh yeah, it didn't work. It didn't save my house for some reason. Very nice. So apparently there's still a little bug.
Oh yeah. We're all
yeah.
developers, so we all understand this is a
Yeah.
Yeah.
this is a-
Like this is still the alpha build, and yeah, this is currently not like a public build, so the alpha is not playable yet. But I'm planning that this will be possible like during or right after the Kickstarter campaign.
awesome.
Part of the point of these, we're going to be doing more streams like this with the developers, and part of the point is we're showing off what we're doing in the game. So we fully expect there to be bugs and placeholders. It's less about streaming like a let's play and more about
Yeah.
what cool things have happened and where's this going. So
Yeah, of course that always happens. Like these games are very very early still in development, so yeah, of course there are a couple of things that need to be improved.
A
And,
question. A question from the chat is: will there be mini games like fishing?
Yeah, I'm not sure if that would be like a mini game, but there's definitely fishing and hunting involved already. You can already like if you find the correct materials, you can already craft yourself a bow
Awesome.
and would be able to hunt wild animals. And you can craft a fishing rod and fish already, but currently the lakes are not implemented, so so there are no fish right now, but they're definitely being added.
are the lakes going to spread over multiple tiles, or are you going to keep like each as a pond?
It's probably like one lake as a tile. I don't know
Right.
if you played the Steam demo back then. You probably did, right? Like in the demo there were still these lake tiles. It was just like a chopped piece of a lake, like very rectangular.
Okay.
But I think it looked cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Lots.
So
Of
how
Yeah.
long have you been working on this game?
Yeah.
Well, the story began like years back when I started to like getting really into the game development together with a friend of mine, and we wanted to develop like a Wild West game because we thought like this genre is like still highly unexplored, as at least like in a survival way, and yeah, so we decided for this genre because we thought it's cool. And but yeah, we created a couple of prototypes, and you know how it is, like your first game, it gets messy and the code gets messy and it's not performant and everything. And so the idea was still in my mind, but this particular project with this idea and scope was developed like since this year. I started this right after New Year's, like, so it's in development now for about 10 months. And yeah, this code base, but the idea is older. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
yeah, and yeah, I'm hoping to release probably next year. I won't promise anything, but that would be like the target for sure. And yeah, we will see.
Yeah. I hope
So
it makes your target.
yeah,
is there anything specific you still want to go and show people, or was that kind of the scope of what you wanted to?
No, I think it's fine here. I don't want to like to have too much time on Above Snakes. So I think it's a good time now to switch over to Inanis.
Yeah, sure.
So any last question from the chat for Above Snakes? Otherwise, we switch to Inanis.
Yeah, and
Just turn off the stream here.
Yeah, in fact, while that's going on, I need a second or two to pull it up. So,
Yeah, sure. That's
so
absolutely no
that would be
problem.
a great time to answer any questions. And then while I'm doing that too, Tyler brought up something really interesting of, this is our first collaborative stream, and we're probably going to do more of it. So if there's anything at all that you guys think we could improve, or anything you want to see, or anybody you think we should stream with, just let us know. We're going to use this channel kind of exclusively for streaming, so feel free to subscribe if you want, and you should get updates and stuff.
I think it's a really cool idea, by the way. I haven't seen this. I haven't seen this anywhere, like indie devs collaborating on streams. I think it's a really good idea. Like also because you guys, you have already like an existing community for your game, and I have like an existing community, and I think it's good to see if like each other's community like also other games, and so you will get like a bigger audience and some more attention for the games. I think it's a great idea, and also like a great opportunity like to have like to feedback each others, and to just get some eyes on the game, and
it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it's also a lot of fun.
It is.
Wow, Bryce.
Cool. Yeah, can you guys hear the? You can probably hear the music kicking up.
No, not yet. I was gonna ask some questions until you're ready, but it looks like you're good to rock and roll.
I think you shared your Discord.
Yeah, should be better now for a second. Can you?
Okay.
You can see the stream now, I hope. Yeah.
There we go. There's a lot of emojis and gifs in that.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was probably the Inanis Discord.
By the way, Tyler, did you create the music?
For Inanis? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And so, it's been a lot of fun. Just to give everybody kind of a primer, sort of the pitch for our game. So this screen, by the way, is getting totally replaced this week. Just kind of a placeholder. The Inanis is kind of a grim fantasy game, sort of like maybe a Dark Souls-y sort of world. But it's a fusion of a boss rush and deck builder, not in the sense of Slay the Spire, where it's one card at a time as you go, but that you're actually crafting custom decks to try to come and take down these bosses. And it leans into the Dark Souls-esque mentality that it's hard. You're gonna get the crap kicked out of you a lot. The idea is you come back and you learn more about them and you try new combos, and then you can take down the boss with super satisfaction. So nothing but bosses. We got a bunch planned. We got a bunch in development. So for the demo we have for our Kickstarter, it's just our first boss to show off some of the mechanics and stuff. So Bryce, you ready to?
Yeah, I can jump right into it.
It sounds really cool, by the way. And it sounds really unique.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. We've actually not found another card game boss rush. So if anybody in the chat knows of one, let us know.
So I'm just gonna jump right into it for the sake of time. And we have like these different modes and things for difficulty. I can pretty consistently beat it on normal, and I want to show you guys like the death screen and stuff because there's cool stuff going on there. So I'm gonna actually jump into soul mode, which is like it's a mode where as you are. Let me turn this music down. Sorry about that.
Did I see that correctly? That your main menu was already like a card game?
Yeah, all the UI is generally done through cards. So, like when you talk to people, you get a hand of dialogue options, and you're selecting cards with dialogue on it. And
that's
like
great. I think that's like a great idea.
Yeah. So.
Thank you.
It feels a little bit like how's it called? Like a pen and paper session. Like it showed something like, hey, you arrived here. What do you do? And then you pick a card. Like it sounds like a little pen and paper-ish.
Yeah, if we have some time, I'd love to show off like how the dialogue system works and how the NPCs work. Everything. I'm a really big fan, and honestly, a lot of the people at Marco Polo that I work with, I'm a really big fan of like one function for many things. It makes it a lot easier on the player to interface with your game. So you essentially have your hand on the screen, and that's what you use to interact with everything. You use it to change where you travel in the world. You use it to change, not change, but talk with people like NPCs, or which one you're going to talk to, selecting items. You know, eventually there's going to be a merchant where you can buy decks and things and stuff. So it's really cool. It's just like one mechanic. If you learn how to use your hand, you know everything you need to interact with Inanis.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So this build, this deck was pre-built, or did you just build it very quickly?
Yeah, so this was actually one I had pre-built. It's not the default one. We'll see if it actually helps me on this fight, because soul mode is pretty hard.
Okay.
Gabriel, the developer, he can consistently beat it, but we'll see if I'm able to. So this is these cards here. So when you start the boss fight, you get your decks into your hands. So these cards actually add a deck of cards into your hands. So if I play the Fire Spellbook, you can see it adds it to my discard. And then, yeah, go for it.
I was gonna say we played around with single card ideas too, like picking individual cards for your deck, and we have some ideas for that and how to expand the card stuff. But the demo and the first few bosses, you have to pick packs of 5, or there's always 5 cards, and so you have these 5-card packs to pick, which we love because it means you can't just pick all the best cards and break it. You have to take the less impressive cards with the better cards to combo into. And so there's a bit of, you have to know you're going to get some inefficient cards too.
Yeah.
Just not as crazy.
And
So it's intended, like an intended game design, that there are better and worse cards, and that some are more efficient, some are less efficient, or is it very situational?
it's part of the boss rush, you know, right? It really depends on the boss you're fighting. So, you know, some bosses you might want more range against, some bosses you might want to get up close and tight with to do melee attacks and things like that. So it's not always that one card's better than the other. It's honestly really situational. So in a
Okay.
certain fight,
Yeah.
one will be better than the other. But yeah, so I just added all my hands to the deck. I'm going to go ahead and end my turn, but I just want to point out the UI here. Like, you've got the boss health up here. You've got your player health up here, which are these diamonds on the eyes. And then your draw pile and your discard kind of show up here. So when I end my turn, you can see this tracker here. So currently it's Leah's turn is the name of our main character, and she's currently fighting Chester, the champion of the Ugly Infant, which is kind of this bar we're in here. So I'm going to go ahead and say end turn, and it's going to be Chester's turn.
So that's Chester's opening move. Every fight, he throws those bottles. You can see that there's rubble in the 4 corners around Leah. And so he'll do
Yeah.
that later and maybe just hit you with them, but he immediately kind of pins you in. And so you start at a disadvantage, and you gotta try to get out of that initially.
So if you would walk over these shatters, then
Yeah.
you would get damaged.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So
It killed me just this morning, actually.
So I'm going to use the sweep card, actually, and attack 2 squares in front of me, and actually you can clear them out.
Ah, you can clear them. Okay.
So
hmm
I know what his move is coming next, so I'm going to move forward and use this movement card to try to dodge it. And then a cool function of Inanis as well is at the end of every turn, you have to choose a card to permanently destroy. So as the fight goes on, you're actually losing cards.
Oh.
Yeah.
What happens if you have no cards over?
You are. Sorry, but we played with making it like an auto defeat, but we thought it'd be more fun if you were just a sitting duck. We'll probably put a message saying you're toast or something, and you just. I mean, the boss won't ping you for 1 damage for an hour. He's gonna get a hold of you and destroy you. So yeah, you gotta pick that out, and so you also can't just save your best cards to get the perfect combo in a turn and win, because you're gonna be destroying some too. So there's some fast action you gotta be thinking about.
Oh, okay.
So I might take some damage here, but I really want to get this attack off, so I'm going to take a 50-50. And I lost.
Oh.
So that's part of it. There's like RNG and stuff to it too, and I'm gonna
That card could have gone up or down with her. That's
yeah,
kind of
so
what we're saying there.
I'm
So.
gonna use this firebolt to clear out this glass here. And I think I'm gonna
These animations look really cool, by the way. Really like
Thanks.
them.
Yeah, we
Thank you.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, I was gonna say that the studio we found for all of our art is incredible. We have two
Yeah.
awesome artists we found, so it's been great. Oh, we're going in for a hit here.
Was there like, is that in like this is 2D, right? It almost looks like 3D. I think it's 2D.
It is indeed 2D.
Okay,
Stylized
look,
really
maybe
well.
like
Yeah.
2.5D or something, maybe.
Right. Okay, so that's where an example of him getting a hold
Oh.
of you. You went in for the attack.
Wow, that hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. On
Yeah, that's
on soul mode, it does a lot of damage, and some of his heavy attacks. So the boss has like special attacks that will actually put debuffs into your hand. So I don't know if you saw it, but when he put this distraction card to my hand, I just lost. Like I had some fireballs and some movement set up for this turn, and then it discarded all of it. So
that's the effect of that card we got hit with. Yeah.
exactly. So I can play it and gain an action. So at least it's I can clear it out. But I'm gonna try his sidestep because a lot of his moves attack from the front, and the boss actually is and this is kind of a hidden fact, so the people on the stream, you know, you're getting a bonus. He actually is weaker from the back, and in fact in soul mode, I believe you can only hurt him from the back. So let's find out. Yep. So you saw that shield.
Oh yeah.
Can only get hurt.
The shield is a placeholder. We have a really cool frame for him blocking, literally in the pipeline right now. So we'll have a little bit more to show, but yeah, the idea is you're not gonna do it fast enough, especially on the harder difficulties.
Yeah, and I can't see the chat or anything, but I would love to know if anybody's got any thoughts or anything on what they're seeing so far, or any questions.
Generally, they love the backgrounds and the world building we got going on, and then just the graphics, that pen and paper style, like Toby mentioned. People are liking that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
you
this-
saw.
Yeah.
Oh no, go ahead.
Yeah.
See what you're gonna say.
Yeah, I was just saying. I think this is like a really big selling point for this game. Like, I think the art is amazing, and I was curious. Do I have to play as a sorceress, because I never pick sorceress in games?
So that's something.
Can I also pick a warrior?
Yeah. So you can switch your decks out and stuff. She essentially has a combination of staff attacks and like spell attacks. But something we've talked about a lot is in our Kickstarter, if we're able to, is like some stretch goals and things. We would really love to put other playable characters in the game. And Gabriel has some awesome, really deep lore for this whole game. So like, there are definitely characters we could put in that I would love to see put in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that would be
actually-
really cool.
It is a stretch goal, by the way. Gabriel's got some characters already written up, different ideas for them. We missed a couple things here as Bryce was playing. I wanted to point out. One was we got him to half health, and then you saw it said enraged at the top. So that is kind of a heat up. So once you hit half health, he gets stronger, he gets more moves, and he gets just generally more pissy. So you're always gonna have like two phases to the fight.
I like to
So
point
that's
out,
one thing.
I beat it on soul mode. I think there was a bug at the end, and that's how I
Nice.
beat it.
There was.
But I'll take it. I've literally tried that like 10 times, and I've not beat it yet. So, anyways.
Like we all encounter bugs today.
Yeah.
Today's just bug day.
Yeah,
But
but
I-
it,
I was
Bryce is-
wondering.
Yeah,
by,
go.
by the way, I think the AI is very interesting. Like the boss AI. Like, do you have anything to share on what you're using? Like for the AI, is like a state machine that is
Yeah.
running on the boss, and it depends on what the player does, right? It reacts on the player's moves.
Yes, it does, especially on soul mode. But there is a pattern. So while the boss is reactive, it is a state machine, and it looks at the patterns of where the player's positioned, and based on that does different attacks. So you can use that against the boss as you learn the patterns. I'm not super
Yeah.
good at it yet. Gabriel's the one who's programmed it out, so he knows it like inside and out.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but
Bryce, you should back out and build a deck with augury. We can show them the augury card.
yeah.
And some more movement
I'd
stuff.
have to. Yeah, I can go back to the main menu. Yeah. that's-
Something.
Yeah.
Another thing that we flew by as we were talking here, the boss at various points, especially him because he's at a bar and he's a drunkard, takes a moment to shout insults at you, and then that move, that insult card, it's written on a card, comes into your hand, it takes up a spot. So that's just a little thing. It gives him some flavor. That's basically where his dialogue comes from, and then it gets. You got it in there. Oh, you're doing all movement.
Wait, is it all movement? Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's okay.
There was a
we're
lot of
showing
movement,
stuff.
yeah.
Oh well, it'll be good because I need to die anyways. But if I
Yeah.
built a deck with no attacks, there's no way I can win.
Go hit the button at the top.
Oh,
That's okay.
I thought I did.
Now, if you hit that
Yeah.
button, it goes to Soul 2. We have multiple Soul modes.
Oh yeah, that.
Climb.
How many are there already?
Right now, 3. And
It's like
well,
this system that they use in Diablo 3, right? I don't know how it was called.
yeah,
Like-
it is that. And Soul 3 is super brutal. So during the Kickstarter, we'll probably have some sort of prize for somebody who can beat it first, because it's super tough.
Good idea, yeah.
So this card,
But here's-
I love
Okay.
this card. It's called Augury, and it tells you what the boss is gonna do in the next turn, so it gives you a chance to like react. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it.
That-
You got a little spell button.
That's a question. There's a question in the chat, by the way. Like, that one nerd is asking how many decks can be made at a time. Like, I think he's
Current-
talking about deck slots.
Oh,
Yeah,
like active.
currently-
Yeah, go for it, Tyler.
Currently, just one deck. Partially because you just pick. For the demo, we have 5 packs of cards. So you just pick 3, so it's pretty quick. That's part of it. It's not a huge need, but we got a lot of ideas of decks. We've even talked about making decks with a dialogue for later NPCs and having to like have limited reactions to what they can do, and things that we can put in the decks and ways that we can customize that. So generally, you're seeing all the base ideas, and then we have a variety of wrinkles to throw in as we get farther in the game and farther in the lore. So deck slots will come. Right now, there's not a reason, but we got plans for it.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, so right now I'm kind of trying to die on purpose real fast so that you guys can see the death screen, but definitely keep the questions coming.
So this is like the first boss, like in a row of bosses.
Yeah.
So this is and do you already know like how big the scope of the game will be? Like, will it be like 10 bosses or 50 bosses or?
It
We do.
honestly depends on the scale.
Or
of
do
our
you want to
game.
share that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can share a little bit. We're gonna show this screen real quick though. So when you die, and most of our players are gonna die the first time, you get resurrected by the Oracle. So it's not just die and retry. So this is another NPC, and you talk to her, and she gives you information. And then she also hints, if you haven't found it, that you can make your own deck, and then you come back around, right? So the idea is you are meant to die. The loop is that you die and keep going at it. So
And there's lots of lore and stuff too. Like you can ask her about the king. The general premise of the game is you are a pilgrim set to, and that essentially means the title pilgrim are these people who have set out to kill this corrupt king, who's put like a darkness over the land, and there's like people who are growing like corruption on their face and things like that. But nobody's ever been able to kill the king. So as you kind of go through these bosses, these are all people who have been corrupted by the king's power with either promises of wealth or other things that they're looking for. So he plays to these bosses' vices and things. So you kind of learn about, this kingdom. And there's lots of other areas you go through as well, that like it's not just this one village town. There's like a dark sewer area. There's like like the castle itself area, like the royal courtyards, and you can see. So it's a really deep world with a super deep lore. I honestly think the combat is great, but what really sells me personally, I love games that have tell a really good story. It's honestly a big reason why I set out in the game design in general. Is like a lot of the RPGs and things I've played that have like really deep characters and worlds that you can blow through them if you want, but if you are like me and you like to spend the time to learn every little detail, there's so much detail into this lore, and I think it's presented in a really cool way.
we have a question from Trippin.
Yeah.
Asking if we have plans for own voice acting. Super common question for devs, I guess.
Yeah.
Right now, no. But again, it's a stretch goal. We would love to. There's a lot of characters that we want to speak in a dialect. That would just be much easier, the voice acting, things like that. So it's a stretch goal. Go check out the Kickstarter and $12 you own into
Yeah.
here for us, and then we'll do it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
A point.
Yeah,
Oh,
go for it.
Toby asked a question about scope here. So as far as the bosses being one after another in a row, it's not a boss rush endless mode. So you'll beat this character, there'll be a lot of lore, things like that, and you'll travel to the next spot and gather more cards and stuff. But right now we're looking about 16 bosses. And what I mean by that is we have 16 bosses quoted out from the people who will be making it. So we know we need to be
Okay.
doing. And Bryce hinted at this, but every boss you fight except the king himself at the end was a pilgrim like Leah. They wanted to go kill the king and save something in their kingdom, but the king is intuitive and offered them something they wanted more. For example, somebody wanted revenge on somebody, but they went to kill the king to show that maybe to intimidate the person they wanted revenge on, and the king just said, "Well, I'll just give you the powers of revenge if you serve me forever." Chester loved the acclaim of people. He loved glory. So he went out to kill the king to get glory, and the king said, "Well, I'll just give you a bar fight, a bar in this town. You'll rule it, and you'll win every fight because I'll give you this magical club arm thing he's got." So then he serves them. So the king's all about taking your other motives and twisting them. So everybody you fight was bent to kill the king, but some form or another has been corrupted. So you're fighting past pilgrims. So then the question for the players would go is, does Leah have other interests in herself? Will she be corrupted by the king, or has she got something else going on? So
Exactly.
So that almost sounds like there could be like different endings.
Yes.
Like maybe a good and a bad
Maybe.
ending at least.
I should say maybe. I don't know. I shouldn't spoil anything, I guess. But
Spoiler alert. Yeah.
we love scope creep at Marco Polo Studios. Love it.
Yeah. Nah, we do a pretty good job. As with any game, we have wanted to work on this demo forever and ever because there's just so much cool stuff with this game we could chalk in. But at a certain point, we've just had to really set our scope because we want people to be able to play the demo, right? And be able to get kind of a glimpse into this. So this is kind of where we're at with this demo. We're going to include it in our Kickstarter so people can, essentially join and then be able to play the demo themselves and, get kind of a glimpse into this world in this game without, having to wait forever for us to put, 16 bosses in, things like that. So.
Yeah. And how long are you working on this project already?
Oh man, what has it been? It's been a couple years.
It's been a long time,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
a solo dev in us, and so it's been through a lot of iterations to make it exactly what it needed to be.
Yeah.
So, and the dev has got a lot of his own life going on, so we've had to take breaks at various points. So it's been a while, but now we've got everything we know we needed. We got the artists we know we're gonna need. Like now we're just ready to roll. And so I think Bryce mentioned this, but the point of the Kickstarter for us is to get the last bit of funding to really finish what we need right now. And then from there, as we continue to find resources and gain fans, growing it from that. So we got it all ready to go now. We know it's a really cool idea for a lot of people. So this idea of this Kickstarter here.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool.
Yeah, and I think you've just won some fans in the chat.
Awesome.
And so if they want to play this demo, what do they need to do?
So the demo will go live with the Kickstarter. Kickstarter goes on October 5th. I think it's kind of a secret, so maybe don't tell people, but October 5th is the Kickstarter launch. We'd love to have everybody, so go follow the page, go tell your friends to follow it, and just be updated when it launches. And then the demo will be there, and we got a lot of cool things. We have collaborations with other composers who made their own tracks off of what I wrote, and artists who do things on their own, and we got a lot of cool things to show. I think it's going to be a really great campaign. So
additionally, if you're like really into this kind of stuff and you have a lot of opinions and you don't want to wait until the Kickstarter to give us some feedback and stuff, honestly, you can also just hop into our Discord. Tyler and I and Gabriel are super active in there, and just say like, hey, I saw you on the stream and I'd like to play a copy of the demo. Because we do that all the time. Honestly, we are in debt to those people who do that because they catch bugs and other things and have awesome feedback on features that we've been working in for so long. You kind of get your head down into it and you don't always think about something cool you could do or a little tweak that would add so much to the game. So, and often those people have like awesome insights that really help us out. So come join us, come hang out, come be a collaborative part of the process and help us make Inanis as cool as it can possibly be.
I think it's probably good time to wrap up unless there's any other questions from the chat here. But I just want to thank Toby for hopping on the stream and making it work and showing us your amazing looking game. It was great. And of course, thank everybody who hopped in at various points and watched and those that stayed through it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course. Thanks to everybody that hopped in and like put these questions in the chat. And it would be great if you would just join the Discords, like Discords of Inanis and Discords of Above Snakes, and then we can have some further discussion on the game. And of course, thanks to you two to making this possible and to hosting this stream. It's like a really cool opportunity. And yeah, I had a lot of fun playing Above Snakes, since this was like the first gameplay that I showed in public since a long time. And I also had a lot of fun watching Inanis and learning about yeah, card games and boss rush games. And yeah, I think it has a lot of potential. And yeah, I would definitely follow the Kickstarter, and I hope it will do so well.
Yeah,
And
Thank you so
yeah.
much.
Oh
honestly,
yeah, by the way, there's also an Above Snakes Kickstarter if you're interested.
Yeah.
The date of the Above Snakes Kickstarter is not announced yet, but you can of course already follow the page. And I still need a little bit of time to be able to show everything that I want to do with the Kickstarter, and to like polish the page and the stretch goals and everything. But yeah, then I would also hope to get some funding for the game.
yeah, absolutely. And it's just you deserve it. Like it's so obvious how much work you've poured into it. It's a beautiful game and it's got an incredible amount of depth. So it's really a testament to you as a game dev. So I'm definitely gonna
Right.
check it out. I'll be clicking that Kickstarter link and stuff. So keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for coming,
Yeah.
everybody. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for coming,
and
everybody.
Bryce.
Thanks to everyone that watched. Thanks for you too.
Yep.
And yeah, so last chance to drop a question.
Yeah, we'll wrap up
Otherwise-
the stream. But if you guys do like things like this, or if you guys have feedback on the stream, let us know. And then obviously you can always subscribe, and you'll see the next one. I think. Are we ready to announce, Tyler, who we're streaming with next?
Yeah, so we'll be streaming next Wednesday at the same time, noon, at least in our part of the world, with Thieving Pixels and his game Broken,
Yeah.
which is a really narrative-driven 3D first-person game. It's kind of like Lost, in a sense that you're on this island and you're figuring out all these mysteries, and it looks super cool to the guys. So
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, there's
Well,
a bit of like you're cutting out, Tyler, but I think there's like a bit of survival horror stuff into it. And so if that's kind of stuff you're into, it's pretty interesting, kind of ominous game. From what I've seen and followed on his Twitter and things. And we're gonna kind of be checking it out for the first time in a deep dive next week, next week on Wednesday the same time, and we'll make an announcement in our Discord as well if you guys are over there.
Really cool. I'll be watching
Awesome.
if it's good in my time zone.
Yeah, it'll be the
we
same
will
time.
we will see.
Yeah, the exact same time
Okay,
as
yeah,
we just
perfect.
did on
Yeah.
Wednesday.
I'll be watching.
Awesome.
Great.
Cool. Thanks, everybody.
So-
I don't see any new questions, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks again, Toby, for being here and showing us Above Snakes. I really enjoyed it. And thanks, Tyler, for being here and talking about Inanis and stuff and answering some of those questions. So really appreciate having you here and your time, and good luck on your game dev.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see everyone later. Have a great weekend.
I'm going. Bye.
See you then. Bye bye.